Supergroup focuses on fleet management, supply chain logistics and car dealerships. Market cap here, 13.6 billion rand. Price to earnings ratio of 13.7, and it has no dividend
And
yet.
it hasn't paid a dividend in ages. It's kind of not corporate policy. Remember, big business in Australia. But let's go to Andrew and see what he thinks about this one.
Yeah, I suppose if they've raised capital in recent times over the last few years, I suppose that might be one of the reasons. They're not paying a dividend. You don't want to be raising capital but then paying out at the other end as well. Peter Munford's done an exceptional job with this business. I mean, if you think back to when I think he came from, he was with Supergroup, he went to Imperial, he's back with Supergroup now. And when he came in the business, I think it was in about 2008 or 9, just after the global financial crisis.
It was really a boom or bust scenario.
And they
for
raised,
the company.
I think they did a rights issue at like 40 cents, if memory calls. And now, you know, the share price went up to over 40 rand, I think earlier this year or last year sometime. So he's done an exceptional job turning this business
this
around.
is one of those stocks in hindsight you wish you had bought.
Yeah, hindsight's obviously the perfect science. So, you know, yeah, if your 40 cents would have gone to 40 rand, you've done, 1,000 times.
Done very well.
Yeah.
But we missed the boat.
Well, we did. Although sometimes when we've discussed it, we've been hot on it. And remember,
Rowan
Williams, who
is
comes
the
on,
one.
has been an investor in it all the way. So the question really now is where to from here. The SG fleet business in Australia is doing super well, and that economy, of course, is fine and benefited from the same uptick in consumer prices, commodity prices. They also have that business in Europe called In Time, I think it is, which is kind of like an Uber but for trucking. So they've got some nice assets in the mix. They've lost a few businesses.
Peter Mountford, as Andrew was saying, good, solid management, knows the game.
At some point, people used to think, well, this one would be an acquisition target for some of the other players in the space, but that opportunity seems to have passed, and they certainly seem now to be
able to go alone,
sailing onwards. Core shareholders, I think Alan Gray is a shareholder in there, has been all along, backed their rights issues twice, so they got to be grateful for having done so and risen this thing. Nothing much to say.
I mean, could this one shoot the lights out, or have we already seen the lights shot out?
I think you've probably missed the boat. If you wanted to shoot the lights out with this one, you should have done it or been in it 6 years ago. Yeah, exactly. You know, I think they can afford to pay a dividend, so I'd like to see that come through. I don't think they're going to. They're looking for acquisitions. I think that's quite evident. They're going to grow, I suppose, in Europe and Australia, similar to Imperial, so looking outside of South Africa. I don't think they're as focused on Africa as Imperial is.
Can I quickly ask you, if they did pay a dividend, how would the market respond? Would you see the share price rally?
I think shareholders typically like dividends. They like being paid money, and a lot of people think that they'd rather take a dividend than letting the company allocate the capital. In this case, I think they've done an exceptional job allocating capital over the past few years. I don't think, you know, that the market would be upset if they didn't pay a dividend, but obviously dividends always.
But the share price would rally extensively?
I'm not sure if it would rally extensively, but I think it would be looked on favourably.
There's a credibility issue. At the scale they are now, the market cap they're now starting to kind of be a preferred choice within institutional portfolios, and in a way paying a dividend communicates that you have the sort of maturity and that you're that well established that you expect to be taken seriously as a source of long-term capital.
I ask this because I have a background in investor relations, and I think management should be tabling what would the impact be, what would the credibility
I don't
factor.
think the share price would have a huge uptick. I just think it would be just another tick in a box for those that consider them to be a reliable, stable company. And we're at the point now where the tough times of 08, 09 and the Larry Lipschitz era and so on of this company have largely been forgotten. If you had to say to people now, Supergroup, they would associate that company with the current management team, not with the problems of the past.
And this would just be another feather in their cap if they did decide to pay a dividend. Hot or not, Andrew?
I'm going to go not on this one as well.
I'm going to tip hot just on account of the fact that Australia seems well positioned.